here we are talking to Peter Baker, who's now a full-time member of the development team at Alelion Energy Systems, formerly Caterva.
I am indeed.
And you did a year's placement 2016-17 here, I think.
Yeah, I guess that's right, yeah.
And where were you studying?
So I studied at Loughborough, web development.
Development.
So that was a course mixed of computer science and business studies and design. So.
And how did you spot the job at what was then Caterva?
The job came through actually from an email, I think probably from our department careers section, and caught my eye, opportunity in Munich. And yeah, the rest is history. Did you want to
study abroad? Was that part of your ambitions at that point, or you just thought that'd be nice?
I think I wanted an ambitious placement, and that stood out to me as something that would, be fulfilling.
And how did you find the assessment process that resulted in the offer?
I think the assessment process was good. They take a chance to look at both your technical ability and how well prepared you are, and up for the challenge of moving abroad. I think it was a nice sort of an introduction to the company as well, because you have interviews not only with outside recruitments but real people that you'll be working with day to day.
And when you arrived in Munich, was that your first time in Munich?
I'd been here years ago on a school trip, but that was a very, very different time, yeah.
And how did that feel at the beginning then?
It was strange, definitely strange, walking around the town and thinking, I remember this bit, even though it was years prior, 7, 8 years ago. So yeah, it was a weird sense of nostalgia and familiarity, while at the same time being sort of a new experience.
And what were you working on during your year as a placement here?
So while I was on placement, I worked on a variety of things, really. I spent a lot of my time working on the CRM system, which
this is customer relations side?
Yeah.
Used by the customers or used by Caterva to manage customers?
So this was an internal tool that was used to handle everything all the way from a potential customer through to them signing the contract and all of the processes behind that, and setting tasks for the installation and maintenance of the devices. And it was that whole process, and writing that to have these different triggers, so that when one thing is done, something happens automatically. So it's all about those business processes to support my colleagues.
Sounds pretty challenging. Did you get good support and training to do this?
Yeah. I was fortunate because obviously people had previous experience with the software, and they were more than happy to help in terms of showing me examples of where a similar thing's been done in the past, or a potential way that it could be approached. Unfortunately, there was very good documentation for the software I was working on as well. And then in the later half of the year, I worked alongside one of the other interns in order to produce a web application that would be used for the customers to view their energy production and consumption. So yeah, that involved writing an Angular application.
Real hands-on stuff.
Real hands-on,
You can see what it's going to be used for.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see that you've had a real noticeable impact on the company while on placement.
There's a youngster watching this now thinking, could I do a placement in Munich? What are the things they need to think about?
I think you have to have a certain amount of ambition and interest and the passion in order to sort of have the self-confidence to approach some of these problems, because as I mentioned before, it will leave a significant impact on the company. But it's a very good environment to grow yourself and learn a lot. So if you really have that goal of really going somewhere, I'd say this is the ideal placement.
Great. And you finished your placement, went back to do your final year, and somewhere along that route came a job offer. How did that come about? Because you're now a permanent member of the staff here.
Yeah, exactly. So actually it came somewhat out of the blue. I was, just a normal day, and I got a call to say, hey, we'd love to have you back. Would you be interested? So, yeah, of course I was flattered. And here I am today. I've really enjoyed my time on placement, and it's a really friendly and really great place to work and learn. So, yeah.
And do you see yourself being in Germany long term?
Yeah, definitely long term. I'd be lying if I said I had a real plan set out, but for now I'm very settled here, and I'm really enjoying life in Munich.
How's your German?
My German, it leaves something to be desired.
Have you studied that, or it's just what you've picked up?
I did it years ago for GCSE, so of course, that was a very nice grounding in the language, but I've also picked up a lot while I'm here, and I've just started a course in order to sort of really ramp up my learning now. But certainly, you shouldn't feel that it's a necessity to know German.
That's a key point, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can get by here. In the working environment, English is fine.
Absolutely, and even in the city, you'll find that you'll pick up the things that you need to know very, very quickly. And from there, a lot's very easy. And it's quite rewarding to look back and sort of see how much you have learned, even though it might not feel like it.
So anyway, congratulations. You did a great placement, and here you are working full-time and helping look after the next generation of students. So Peter, thank you very much for talking to us today.
You're welcome, thank you.